Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing, reflecting on the lessons learned from Nigerians who are still trying to come home after the war started in Ukraine. Yes, Nyma, you're saying something.
A leader is not someone who just has the vision to provide facilities, amenities, and not educate his people on how to own those amenities. Is that disparity, that difference, that is why somebody will remove the track. There's another principle that I learned under Islamic law, that when a person steals, you first of all find out the reason that pushed the person to steal. A person who stole tracks, rail tracks, material, is it out of hunger or just out of material needs that the person stole it? A leader is that person who will be finding out what is the lack of dignity that will make you be removing tracks enough to take people's lives. Go and provide those amenities. So if the person needs to get an education, give him an education. If housing is a problem, give him house. Bring dignity to their lives. And if the person is at that point unrepentant and a criminally inclined person, deal with the person. Cut off the hand, sentence the person to death, life, whatever.
Okay.
The system is upside down. It is the poor man only who commits an offense and makes it to jail.
So that's exactly.
So, for example, okay, go ahead, Tope.
That has stayed forever in jail.
Ukraine is, somebody mentioned Ukraine is poor, and yet Nigerians go there because the system works. And then somebody mentioned on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube now that Ukraine sentenced their former leader to jail. How many former leaders has Nigerians sentenced to jail? So let me just take a few messages. The challenge is that until there are punitive measures for crime, until we create a vision of a better future and everybody tightens, for this country to move forward, all of us will suffer. But everybody must suffer the suffer.
They're not ready to suffer.
Suffering. Morayo.
They
all
us
we are already suffering every day.
Nigerians are suffering.
But they are not suffering.
The leaders who are not ready to suffer. They are the ones who have the alternative of hospitals abroad, schools abroad. Imagine a minister of education for this country walked out because somebody said to him, "Your child graduated abroad." He's not able to cover his face in shame. He walked out on them.
I can't hear anybody. I can't hear anybody.
And the next day, he should have been sacked.
He should have been sacked because they are all the same.
I watched that video. You know, before I was still thinking that the youngsters were like, were rude. When I watched the video, I was quite disappointed. I had to chew my words.
Let me just help you out there. Do you see the boy that was talking?
Yes.
He has been doing his course for how many years? He was talking out of frustration. He has become an old man in university and he has not graduated.
Okay, did he tell you that one?
I was looking at him.
Okay, just an observation. Okay, just check it.
Says, back in 1979, I couldn't wait to leave the US for Nigeria. I regret it all the time. Even my children tell me I could have made their lives better if I had stayed back to birth them there. Imole Ayo says, our leaders are just selfish and wicked. Avata Mochi says, remember Morayo, remember what our leaders did to the COVID palliative. They hid it out of selfishness. His Holiness said, imagine our governor's wife flew to Dubai to celebrate birthday, even in the midst of crisis. They
didn't go and celebrate. Listen, Mrs. Fayemi has told us they went for an education summit to learn. Let us get the information. Hang in there. Let's get the information. Listen, I am not. Listen, I am not. Oh, please, hear me out. I'm not defending. I'm saying this is what happened. So let us not even discuss it. But we must change the narrative that they went to go and do better in Dubai. That's not what happened. They were there for an event, for an official event. You cannot define or discuss what the event is about. The event matter. Can I take Sheriff's call, please?
These people, are they our leaders? This situation is here. Even if you are in Dubai, you're not deaf. You know, they let tell blind man say what don't start.
Okay.
You there, you know the situation at home. Even if you want to do the birthday, I love the first lady. Postpone the birthday.
She didn't do birthday. They surprised her in her room.
Don't surprise her. Do a video of it in Dubai. When she will come back, go and do it in Nassau Rock.
Exactly.
Be shameful.
Okay. Let me take this call from Sherry.
I don't even care which conference they go for.
Conference call. Why is the conference? It's not
it's guys. Okay, let's take this call from Sheriff. Everybody drink your tea.
Our tea has finished.
Mr. Sheriff, are you there? Hello, Sheriff, are you there?
Tell me to come and collect for.
Yes, that's the call.
Morning.
Oh, Mr. Sheriff, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, in as much, I will blame the government. But one thing I understand is we all have the role to play in this what is happening in this country. It's not the government alone. We are all leaders in our own respective countries, so we should look inward and do what we know is right. We cannot say because the government is going the return right, we should follow that path. We can as well in our own little way do our contribution to make move. That's my context. On this side, so Morayo, I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
I believe we have leaders in our responsibility.
Thank you, sir. You see, I believe that corrupt people would always produce corrupt leadership. And that's because all of us are corrupt. Listen, I would definitely never take the responsibility away from our leaders, but we are just as corrupt as they are. I've seen, wait, I'll let you talk. Wait. I know somebody who tried to introduce technology to solve a system problem in government. These Nigerians manipulated that system. They frustrated that system that, unfortunately, it couldn't work. He had good intention. He brought it in to solve the problem. But guess what? The people working, they frustrated it such that, unfortunately, they have to go back to the manual way of inputting things.
Let me reverse that statement, because you said, your statement was, corrupt people will always produce corrupt leadership. You have missed it. It is corrupt leadership will always produce corrupt people, which is what has happened. Because over the years, the leaders have been corrupt. What has happened is we have now, we have now imbibed corruption. It's now part of us. So, if the downfall driver today becomes president, it will do worse than any leader that is there, because he has no
doesn't have better knowledge. Have you?
Yeah, and he hasn't seen any. Thank you. He doesn't know better.
Okay. So why?
Wait, let me finish. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know better. So while he doesn't know better,
he can't produce better.
So what is happening is that we are just following. We are following.
Okay. You know YK. So let me respond to YK Nyma.
Wait. Explain it to yourself, because I don't agree.
Wait. So I agree with everything you have said. Corruption came from the top, and all of us now, we are all in the mud. So imagine a whole nation, all of us are all covered in mud. Abi? We are all corrupt because they have taught us corruption from the beginning. No doubt, that's where we are. Now, we can continue to revel in this, they did this, they did that, he did this, and stay in the mud. Or we can choose to turn our Abi, in the sense that, okay, we're all in the mud now. Can we begin to choose and say, we want better? We're doing better. So we can't keep going and say, they did. Today, we're already all in the mud. How do we fix it? Like, keep complaining. So somebody amongst us who has somewhat been able to move out of the mud and make some money, she wants to reinvest back to clear out more people from the mud.
Valid. But let me quickly say this. We cannot separate foreign influence from the corruption in Nigeria. I beg, who they keep the money, then carry go Switzerland?
Not be them.
Not be them. All these secret things when they go show in one island in the UK, is it not them? All these foreign leaders, who is returning Abacha loot, is it not them? Who kept these monies in deposits, long whatever deposits, enough to build interest? After using it in their country, they brought the shaft back when the money had lost value back to us. Is it not them? One second.
What I've always said was, we cannot expect the foreign countries to develop our country. Our solution will come from within. And it would start by us taking, all of us must start by taking that decision that we want the change, we desire this change. It would mean that we are not going to vote the institution, we're not going to support the institution, because we've seen how far the institution has brought us. And it is apt, because all this frustration, whether they like it or not, they are planning it towards 2023. And I want us to keep the frustration very, 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 very strong in our hearts, because we can burn out. You know, we can let this emotion affect us, and then we're not doing it, following through to the end. We have 2023 just next year. We have an opportunity to make change happen for us. And we must open our eyes and use what we have, which is our voter's card. It is not sentimental tweeting online or going or protest. It is voting, and voting right. Voting someone who is not going to give you rice or beans or bread, but will promise to make your future better long term. And it will cost us.
Then let's deploy all the tools of democracy. Since we say we want democracy.
What's that too?
Tools, all the tools of democracy. If we have a president sitting, let the National Assembly be separate.
Theo's been holding for a while. I'm so sorry, Nyma. Theo, are you there? I do apologize for holding you.
Yes, I'm here.
Please, go ahead. You're live.
Okay. I want to make reference to what YK said earlier about the first coming of Buhari. When we voted him first, it was because of when he first came, because of what basically we thought he was going to do the same thing. And even the leaders then, the interim leaders then, they actually thought Buhari was going to come with fire and brimstone. The day before his inauguration, NEPA came and NEPA didn't go at all for more than a month. People in Lagos, people were switching off their fridges because your beer in the fridge will break because NEPA didn't go. Even the NNPC people, all the refineries started working. And they came up without prompting to tell us, we are operating at 85% capacity now. Very soon we'll be able to refine 100% capacity. Nobody represented them. That was the first inauguration of Buhari. Before they now noticed that it's no longer the first person that is now here. Now everything started backsliding. It means that if we had a very good leader that is strong-willed, that will punish everybody that spark up, let it go right. That's right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming to us. Yes, any more messages? We're going to...
Yes. He's saying what I believe, that if you have somebody who is strong and is ready to change, you see, because I was telling during the break that there was a leader that came and sacked all the civil servants. Mm-hmm. So what happened? And these were civil servants that had... Civil servants now... Is this how they sacked? Let me... Everybody now started fighting for themselves. Nobody was fighting for... Now you go to the civil service, you want fine. You must pay for that fine.
Everything.
All right, someone was saying here, let's take it from me. Someone said that leaders have continued to be corrupt because we continue to permit corruption. The people's revolution always changes the trajectory. If we say enough is enough, the leaders will take a cue from that. So we, the people also, we permit this corruption, we permit this type of leadership. Go ahead.
Falashade Kamalafe says, we all desire to come back home. Our children also long to be among their own family, but we are so afraid of the situation in Nigeria. Our leaders should do better. Wahab Olushola says, corruption is eaten deep into the fabric of our society. Dora Akuyile of blessed memory said, corruption means not doing things in the right way. How many Nigerians do things in the right way?
Well, how did Dora do it then? You know, she came in and with a whole different strategy. Yes, she found the rot in the system. There are people, so I agree with you, yes, leadership can change things. But she was faced with a lot of resistance within that system. But eventually, somehow, she was able to pull through. But let me come to you. Let me come to Benedicta. And I'll come to you, Nyma. Benedicta, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I agree with everybody on the table. Now, the thing is, the last Bayelsa election, a man was saying it when he came from the war. He said at the aspirant mother's town where the election was going on, he said the man did not even have a vote or two. And he was asking that this man is from maternally. And they said, now more that they say vote, that he only came to campaign what he wanted to do, he came to money.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine for people that want good governance and good everything? So the thing is, as far as it boils down to the leaders, it also boils down to the people. Yeah. It boils down to, we climb the ladder from the bottom to top. So there is everybody is involved, and I just hope that we talk to ourselves. We talk to ourselves to make things better.
Yes.
We talk to ourselves to make things better. Thank you.
In fact, they should be jailing all those people that go and bribe at the polls. All those people that
there's no space in prison. YK,
people that
but you see, YK,
your guys should be jailed. I'm not my chef.
YK, you know what?
I can't forget my auntie when she went to go and say, I want to make a change. She went to go and do kini. When she got there, she had her own constituency, one vote. And the one vote was Theo that went to go and vote for her. when Theo got there, I said, to count votes, they say, that's your vote there. They knew one vote. One vote.
I was saying to Morayo,
she was speaking English. She didn't have money.
When she said she would reject an appointment, I said, take the appointment, make your difference. If they don't allow you, worst case, you resign. But you will be remembered, just as Dora Akuyili, there's no time we talk about NAFDAC here. And when the change happens, we don't almost die finish of counterfeit drugs here in this country. This woman took a risk of, death, threats to her life and all of that. Even her children, to change that narrative. Now we have standards. So anybody that says, I don't want to do, there's a problem. That problem will persist.
Yeah. Let me take this quick. Hassan has been holding. Good morning, Hassan. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning. You're live.
And good morning, the members of the panel. Please, Nigeria's problem is a problem of leadership. And it is the leadership that is having adverse effect on the followership. We knew when the country was okay. We knew. We are a living witness. And I'm even one of the beneficiaries of the past good governance in this country. In the 70s, we knew when everything was going well, when our leaders are selfless. But now what are we seeing? We are seeing self-serving leaders. Look, let me take you to memory lane. In 2015, we voted out Jonathan for being a bad leader. Now today, people are even appreciating Jonathan more than the present leadership. Why is it? Because the person we brought in is replicating the same thing Jonathan is doing. And a situation where you see all the nonsense coming from the top to the bottom. I'm telling you, we should not expect anything better for us. It is high time we say it the way it is. The leadership should sit up. I know we have the problem of followership. You can see our universities are all closed down because their children are not in those universities.
Right.
You don't wake up in the morning and see your children in your house. You understand? Their children are abroad. While
Thank you
the
very much,
common
Hassan.
children are in Nigerian university. You can see why a minister can walk out on students.
Shameless.
Thank you very much, Hassan. I'm seeing the face of that girl in that video, you know, and just like you said, she's a young 16-year-old girl in Ukraine, and the only thing she's thinking about right now is getting home. The only thing on the mind of her parents right now is bring my child home in this same Nigeria. So the point is that home is still home. No matter how much, yes, we try to find it out there, we all have stakes in this home. And I think that
they have stake in this home. That is the problem. I don't believe so.
Do you think
let's look at the health sector, let's look at the educational sector. These two, the money Nigerians spend abroad, if we had the education and health sector working well here, it would make a huge impact on the economy.
COVID happened, they couldn't escape now.
So, but yet, right now, they are all escaping. Everybody. The challenge is that the current minister, yes, the current minister for education showed us what he thinks about Nigerians very clearly. With camera, and it was very arrogant, and it just made us feel weak. I go to the hospitals, Morayo, it is terrible. I'm a general hospital person. I was still there just 2 years ago. Not in both Lagos or everywhere you go to, it is a crime to be a Nigerian in Nigeria and be sick. You must not be sick because you will suffer and you might just die. So we have a major crisis, and our leaders confidently stroll abroad for health care.
I'm in full prayer every day because
we must not be sick.
If I just get sick, like I go just go pray, say God help me.
Why can you pray? Why can you pray?
Everybody becomes we all become religious in Nigeria.
Why can you pray?
That's part of your problem.
Yes.
That's part of your
Who do you pray to? Who do you pray to?
Look at his Oyibo. That's why you go to Ukraine to go and look at Oyibo as your God.
So who do you pray to though? Who do you pray to?
I pray to the Creator, to my God.
Oh, just checking.
Is your God too?
Just checking.
Just my God is not white.
My own God is not white either. My own God is not white. My God is the spirit. It's not white.
Oh my God.
Let me take a call, Jare. Mohammed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. So, as much as our leaders have failed us, we the people also have contributed to the rot in this country. And I say this because I feel, first of all, before we're Muslims, before we're Christians, before we are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or whatever part of the country you're from, we are first human. And we cannot see, even if we don't like each other, even if we don't love each other, we should at least respect each other.
Exactly.
We cannot see problems happening to each other. Even your neighbor is going through a situation and you do not help him out, or you do not even call it out, or you don't say when something is going wrong. We see students in uniform walking on the streets during school hours, and we don't say anything about it. When I was growing up, if I was wearing a school uniform and I'm walking on the street during school hours, somebody will come and ask you, why are you not in school?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? But now nobody cares. Everybody just accepts the situation that we're in, and we just add to it. We continue propagating this cycle of unaccountability. Right. We don't hold our leaders accountable. We don't
Thank you very much, Mohammed.
The fabric of our society has been destroyed.
YK.
When I was going wrong,
I want to correct something with YK.
Lie with confidence.
Before you continue, please let me use the opportunity to just correct YK. Because you always say this a lot, and I'd like to correct you.
No, don't even go there.
Let me correct you, YK. You always say that God is spirit. Jesus Christ is God came in flesh. So it's not God. Jesus Christ is not. Jesus Christ, that person is not God. He came into flesh. So I don't have a picture of Jesus in my own church.
Stop lying.
I don't have. RCCG doesn't have the color of picture.
Let's not change the topic to religious topic. I do a weekly training for realtors in my team, and I have to remind them every day not to lie. Do you understand? Like, I'm reminding them every week not to lie. Why? Lying has become normal because you want to close a deal. He's like, it's Mowe is Lagos. Mowe is Lagos. Mowe is not Lagos. I was telling you, I said, Mowe is not Lagos. Don't lie because you want to sell. You don't need to. But guess what? I have to undo the damage the society has done. The people are so used to lying to make sales. Anything to just make sales. The corruption has taken so deep it has become a norm. It's not a problem to just lie. I am buying a land. I say, I want to put signboard. They say, put your signboard. The person telling me to put signboard did not tell the family I want to put signboard. So he just wanted to close the sale. We've lied so much. We don't even understand what is lie and what is true. We all need to keep on doing that work of reminding ourselves there's excellent way of doing things and force ourselves to do it that way. Even if you look like a fool, it will look like you're slow. Follow the right path.
Your View is a program that is watched by, I believe, millions of people.
Yes.
You know, and we owe it to the people that watch us. Even if it is once a week, we just come. Wait. If you are a downfall driver, please be a good downfall driver. If you we need to remind them. We need to be, even if it's once a week, we need to be talking to ourselves. Say, come, this is the way it is done. And we go, we need to toe that line. And we mustn't lie about the color of Jesus Christ.
We have to wrap up, YK. So your final comment on this topic. Go ahead, let me let you have the floor. While you're laughing, let me come to Nyma. What are your final thoughts on this? We have to wrap up.
I'm helpless. I'm tired of the normalcy of abnormality around us. How people have normalized things that we should be paying that. I don't have any country I want to go. I didn't see my grandparents, but I know the history of how some of my people were taken, how they had to migrate before we settled where I'm from today. I don't wish that imbalance, that confusion that girl in Ukraine is going through for my children. So we must make this place work. If a minister is unapologetic about his child abroad and the ministry is sitting on, is failing under him, sack him.
Immediately.
Sack him immediately. Let him go to his village. Let him, if he's cattle, or if they are abroad, is where he builds his house. Because most of them have properties in Dubai. Let him go to Dubai. When they treat him like that in Dubai, we understand the mistake of his mentality.
of the government. So if the president cannot see that kind of clip and say, Adamu, please go home. There's a problem.
We don't have president.
So my last comment will be the last comment I made yesterday. By reminding everybody of what is really important. We are the ones that vote. Our refusal to vote is what put these people into power. Because guess what? It is less than 20% of votes that determine who our leaders become. It means we are not participating. We need to participate. You might not like it. It's under the sun. It is uncomfortable. Get your PVC. Go out and vote. You might not like it, but you must vote. That's the only way we can change the leadership of this country.
So, YK.
I will just say, think African, be African, and remember who and what you are. Be proud. And I'm talking especially to our leaders. When you go and face Oyibo, face him eyeball to eyeball. Don't cower because you are black. I am black and I'm proud. That is because when we start to know who and what we are, we will always move forward. We are not underdogs to anybody. We are not.
Crisis.
My final words is I think that the solution is within. And I think we have that wrong perception that our solution is outside in. So just like you said, you're right. The conferences we go for internationally to learn this, want to know what's best practice abroad. The truth is that we're not there yet. Wake up and smell the coffee. Look at the people around you. Nobody's ready for, yes, AI is the new thing. Yes, it is the new thing. But guess what? The majority of your people are not ready for AI. Because they don't even know what it is. So as great as it is nice for us to feel like with the global community of what they do international, global warming, we're speaking of the big grammar, it's great. But guess what? You need to come home. What do we need? The basics. The green economy will come. The AI will come. It will meet us. Well, first of all, let us start with the basics. Let's stop looking outward in. Let's look inward out. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
I don't have fuel, though.
We'll see you tomorrow. Nobody has fuel. Why, Nyma? See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Go home.